Hello, I'm Michael Dennin, and this is the Physics of X, where X is everything except politics. This is our final episode in our Dresden series, where we talk about things from the Dresden Files, a book series by Jim Butcher. I'll just say at the outset, send your suggestions to me about what you want the next Physics of X series to be. Put it in the comments to the video. You can also reach out, tweet to me, post to me on Instagram, all those other fun social media ways of contacting people. Look for me as @DenninMichael wherever you want to look. Somehow you have to flip my name to find me. Except, of course, here on YouTube, where I'm Michael Dennin. So, what are we doing in our last episode? Well, it's a bonus episode where we get to do both faith and science. We've kind of been separating them. One of the super cool things in the series, for those of us who love pop culture science fiction, is that one of the main sort of features is the swords of power that 3 of the Knights of the Cross have, and one of them is the Sword of Faith. It gets destroyed, and it comes back as a lightsaber. How cool is that? Like, you can't do any better than that. So why is this both a faith and a science thing? Well, I'll do the faith part first. An important theme in the book where this happens is the idea of physical reality versus non-physical reality. And that's just a great summary of my overall theme when I talk about physics or science, of faith, religion, spirituality, philosophy, however you want to call it. I just like to be honest about my fundamental assumption is it seems more likely that the fullness of reality is both physical and non-physical. There's so much evidence really of non-physical things, whether it's mathematics, consciousness in my mind. I know some people think it's physical, free will, other areas, that it would be kind of lesser in my mind to not try and explore both of these and figure out we got great ways to explore physical reality. That's science. And I don't expect the laws of physics to, quote, ever be violated. That's an important piece here. But that doesn't mean you can't study the other piece. And that's what is really made clear in the book by some of the characters. When the Sword of Faith appears to be destroyed, they point out, the real reality is not the physical sword itself. It's this non-physical idea of faith. And that becomes a key theme in the book. So the sword going from a metal sword to being destroyed to being a lightsaber is, I think, a great summary of why I like to think about non-physical reality, how we might explore it, how we might understand it. And then, of course, the science, a lightsaber. Who doesn't like a lightsaber? It's been talked about all over the place. Can I make a lightsaber? And this is my final sort of great way of, I love to talk about fundamental physics versus technological limits. And if you think about a lightsaber, it's easy to get very far thinking about what the technology might be. In my mind, it's figuring out how to design an appropriate magnetic field to contain a plasma. A plasma is a hot set of charged particles. That would give it an amazing power at cutting through metals, doing other things. The fact that you have a magnetic confinement type process would probably mean different lightsabers would repel. So when you have lightsaber battles, they hit each other. If your blasters are fundamentally magnetic plasma based, the lightsaber would repel those. There is a fair amount of consistency around the lightsaber. Where the lightsaber runs into problem is really right at the edge of what I call fundamental physics and even technology, because the energy required to make it do most of the things you see, say, in Star Wars or even in the book, that energy would create so much excess heat, it's hard to imagine technologically designing the handle so your hand doesn't melt. Now, is this fundamentally impossible, or is it a technology challenge? This is one of those questions I'd like to leave you with. Part of me leans towards this is really a fundamental issue. The heat is just so great we can't do it. But I find that a dangerous statement because people said that about traveling faster than the speed of sound. No human could survive it because the stresses would be too great, and yet we did find a technological solution. So at this point, I'm unwilling to put the lightsaber firmly in the fundamentally impossible category, and I tend to leave it in the major technology challenge. So there's your final thought. Whoever can figure out how to build a really, really great lightsaber, please reach out to me and let me know. This has been our Dresden series of the Physics of X. Look for a lot more Physics of X coming forward. And if you like the faith stuff in this, check out my book, Divine Science, Finding Reason at the Heart of Faith. Thank you for watching. This has been the Physics of X, where X is everything but politics. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notifications of every episode coming weekly straight to you.